Well, congratulations on this second season of Fallout. So I think the main theme of this series is empathy, right? Even you have it or you discover it. So can you please tell me what do you think your characters are gaining in this new season?
What a great question. I think that's a really astute observation as well. I mean, I think for Lucy, you probably know, but she has a lot of empathy. And I think that something happens to her at the end of season 1 where when she finds out what her father's done, the empathy, taking on that level of emotion, feeling that level of heartbreak, devastation and betrayal, there's a piece of her that breaks in that moment. You know, we saw it. She was completely, she couldn't move. She couldn't respond. So going into season 2, I think it's almost like it's painful to be as empathetic as she is, and she's sort of almost wishing she wasn't. But it's just part of who she is. Yeah. And I think watching her navigate that is what season 2 is about for Lucy.
Yeah, you know, I had heard Maximus's excuse me. I had heard Maximus's backstory before we started the first season, and that was important for Graham and Geneva to share with me because, you know, we were building this world before we would start. You know, where we start, we kind of need to know where the character, how they got to where they are, and I know that it is different though. There's something I'm trying to put my finger on what it is. It's like it visually, at least the story on screen is exactly what they had told me originally, but seeing it on the screen, it really affected me the first time I watched, and I do believe that like Maximus is gaining this, and it's partly because of the character of Lucy, but I think he's gaining a reconnection with that past, that forgotten past, that keep it close and hide it because not everyone had something like that in the wasteland type of a past, and to see someone who has this inherent goodness in them, you know, again, it means everything to him to be able to continue having that conversation in his head, you know. The first season was a little bit more about like how the choice, which is sort of imbued into the game, you know, how choice for Maximus could lead him down these different paths, and our second season I think is a little bit more about how his choices are going to be more things to be effective of the world around him, you know, how to change what's going on.
First of all, thank you so much for your time and congratulations again on your work.
Thanks.
So the first thing I want to ask you, Justin, is Mr. House is the only character in the series that actually has all the cards. So how do you find the tone to interpret this character and what it brings to the series?
You know, it's interesting. I don't know how I find the tone. I mean, the script is always what dictates sort of the tone, I guess, and the directors. But a lot of work is done for House for him in the story. It's kind of like, it's almost like The Godfather. It's like, you know, Marlon Brando, or The Godfather, is in the movie, but it's really Al Pacino's movie. You know what I mean? And he's used so well and sort of sparingly, so that when he pops in, you know it's an oh shit moment or it's a big deal. And then the rest of the movie, he's just talked about, heard of. You're seeing his devices. You're seeing his reach, and that's very helpful to an actor because obviously I'm not even there, but those bricks are being laid for me, and they were laid last season as well. You know, when Rafi Silver played him. So I was grateful for that, and then in just the playing of it, he's just one of those guys that very slowly lays out his cards. He's not one of those guys that just tells you who he is. You know, he's just putting his one card at a time, very slowly, and it's sort of delicious just as a viewer to watch characters like that because you just can't. They make you a little nervous because you can't quite get a read on them immediately.
Terrific. And can you tell me how does it feel see on the screen after interacting with these giant puppets and giant props?
I think it's like one of the greatest joys to see the bows all tied on a show as massive as this. I mean, it's really beautiful. I almost can't describe it. It's so exciting. To make everything feel like it's come together, because it seems impossible sometimes.
Yeah.
It can feel like, is this going to work? And not only does it work, it just can really pop, you know?
Yeah. The level of detail in both seasons, but especially this season, is incredible. I think that people are gonna be excited.
Exactly, and your character is somehow the same because it gains so much complexity in this second season. So, what are you exploring with this performance in the second season for Cooper and also the Gold?
So much of what I'm excited for people to see revolves around the story with Cooper Howard, because his transition from thinking that he knows the world that he's living in to the realization that he has no idea about the world that he's actually living in, and how that affects the ghoul whenever you cut to him 200 years later. I think you understand him in ways that you never could if you just stayed with him in the present. So it's the way that these two experiences for this man are speaking to each other over time that I just found so fascinating, and I just relished every opportunity I had to play them, and then getting to go through a significant portion of this paradigm shift with Justin, who's a dear friend of mine, and so to have that somebody that you love and you really trust on this journey is it doesn't get better than that.
And on that, what do you think the fans are gonna love the most in this second season?
I don't know. I can't predict what they're gonna love the most, because there's so much to choose from.
There is.
There's so much. I mean, honestly, the creatures, the sets, so many Easter eggs from the game. Every costume, every detail.
The scope of this one.
The weapons. It's just so much. All the new factions. There really is. There's too much to pick.
Yeah.
And can you please talk about the level of production, because this second season feels even more cinematic?
It is.
It is.
More cinematic.
Huge.
Chapter one of this story laid the foundation. It introduced people to that had never played the game to the world, and let people that play the game know that we care as much about this world as they do. And season two, we went for broke, really, not in a gratuitous way, because the story wanted it to go in these directions organically, but it is cinema, both in front of and behind that camera, and all of these technicians that work so hard every day. Howard Cummings and his team, Dana Pink and Pink, our costume designer, but every single department worked, and every single director that came on board this season really worked very hard to expand the visual language of this experience, and I haven't seen anything quite like it, and maybe I'm going out on a limb there. I'm not speaking negatively about any other experience, but for me, I've never seen anything quite like this. It's not better than or less than. It's just its own thing.
Well, congratulations, and we can't wait to see where the story goes now.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much
Nice
for
to
your
meet
time.
you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time. It was
Thank you
really
so
great
much.
to talk to you.
Hey man, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you.
I love your work.